So I'm gonna get my come in. One of the first things you want to do is prior to doing anything is make sure that because this wound is open that you medicate your patient prior to doing the dressing change. Come back 30 minutes to 45 minutes after you give the patient the pain medication. Make sure you're comfortable. Explain to them what you're doing. Hi, I'm going to do your dressing. Now that you're a lot more comfortable, pull it up. Have them clean gloves. Okay? I have them clean gloves. Open up the bag. And then remember, when you take a dressing off, you want to take it off away from the patient so they can't see.
Why is that? They know it's there.
Because they say the patient might pass out or something. I don't know. They ain't gonna pass out in bed. I don't know. Take off layer and a layer to see. You want to describe, assess the wound. Talk about, and then now we're going to irrigate the wound. So I took off the old dressing, take off my gloves, put on clean gloves again. I'm going to take my irrigation thing out. Now with irrigation thing, it's just like a syringe. This is all sterile. When you pull the plunger out, again, this is all sterile. Only thing I'm touching here and around this little rim when I'm using it, okay? You have your sterile solution. When you grab it, you want to grab it with the label towards the palm of your hand, okay? If it's a brand new bottle and it still have the seal on it, you take the seal off, then you can pour it in there. If it's already open, make sure you look at the date and time that it was open. If it's within 24 hours, then you can still use it. If it's already open and it's okay, then you want to open it up, lay it upright, lip it off, and then pour it into your container. Okay? When I mean lip it off, you want to pour a little bit out of it so this makes that sterile. Okay? So I have fluid in here already. Remember, I have on clean gloves. I want to irrigate first. Pull up some solution. When I'm irrigating, before I irrigate, I patted the bed. This way, that way. Because when you have irrigation solution, you don't know how it's going to go, and they say to use like a basin or something to catch the fluid, but you can't always do that, depending on the wound. So I think that's not really correct. So you want to go from proximal to distal, and you want to go down the middle, go down one side, go down the other side, and you want to irrigate until it's clean. Now you can go down inside the wound, but know that you don't want to touch any of the sides because this is still sterile. If you need to go back in here to get more, you can, but if you touch any of that skin, you cannot. So what happens if you still have fluid down in there, you can't, and it hasn't come out? What you can do is bring in a steel 4x4, which you open it up and take a part of it, and you should put it with your, just bring an extra one. We're gonna pretend like this is a 4x4. You take it and you just put it in there. Hold it by one end and just wick it. Okay, and that'll get all the extra fluid out of it. Okay, that's irrigating. Once you're done irrigating, move this out the way. Then you can measure. You measure the length versus the width. You get a 2x2 and do the depth. Okay, so once you're done measure, then you can take your culture, or you can do the culture then measure. It doesn't matter, as long as you're not touching anything that you already cleaned. When you culture, make sure you have a label on it. Go down one way, back up the other. Why do you want to irrigate before you culture?
To clean anything that was in there already.
Right, because things are going to grow in there because it's dark, it's moist, you have a wet dressing in there. So now that you did that, got your culture, you measure, you irrigate, now you can do your dressing. So I can move this out the way. Now, so I can move everything out the way that I don't need. Or set up my stove. I still need my solution. I'm going to open up my pad that I'm going to use to pack. Bless you. I'm going to take my solution again because I know it's already been opened. It's okay. Pour it off. Wet it. Put your top back on. And that's why. Don't try to reach over it. You reach over it, once you wet it, it's not sterile anymore. Now I'm going to set up my sterile film. I'm just going to pretend like it stayed open. I don't know who packed this, but it's not right. Okay. So what I can do, one or two things. I can dump it onto the field. And I think it's a lot easier for you. Just go ahead at this point. Take off your coat and put on your star gloves. Take off any rings or anything that's going to get caught. Put on your star gloves. And I can put stuff that I need into my sterile fill. Grab my Hemotex. This is all I really need. Grab my gauze. Wring it out. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to put it manually in this hand. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to wick it to here. I'm going to fan it. I'm going to make sure that it only goes into the wound and not all outside the wound, and then it won't be sterile anymore. When it's wet, it's a lot manageable to put it in there. Okay? Now, once it's packed, now everything becomes clean. Or you can take this, or if you don't really need these, you can just grab it by the ends, lay it on there. Remember, blue to the sky, date, time, cover the patient, make sure the patient is comfortable, get rid of all your supplies, come back half an hour later, make sure it reassesses pain. And that's it.